And we are live. Folks at Bilo, hey. I thought you were already a patron. Thank you. Has become a member again. Does YouTube trigger that every time? Thank you. Merry Christmas, happy holidays to all of you who celebrate that. Today we have the Formlabs Form 3 that we're going to be unboxing. I've had this thing for a while. Didn't find the time to unbox it. We got Joel as well. We've got member the Buckstein Picker. Hey everyone. So yeah, Form 3. So this is, I think, it might be the most expensive printer I've ever tested. So my expectations are high for this thing. This is not the Form 3L, which is their bigger machine. This is just the regular Form 3. They also sent me a bonus box, which I believe has some resins and stuff in it. It's just labeled mix box. So we're gonna check that out too. But this is the interesting thing. Supposedly it's a printer and it's a finishing kit, though I have no idea what the finishing kit entails and what that comes with. And we've got tips flying in. Take it easy, guys. Thank you for the 10, Andrew, and thank you for the 50, Joel. Yeah, I'm going to use that for milkshakes with the family. All right, let's dive in. Well, before we dive in, no sponsor today, but disclosure, this printer was provided to me free of charge by Formlabs. I do not get to keep it. I will need to send it back by March. No money changed hands. Formlabs had no inputs as to what I do with it. They just sent it over to me. I was like, okay, we're gonna see live stream review. I don't know. And yeah, so I have this. I'm gonna have to turn it back. But yeah, not a commercial for like whoever claimed, yay, another commercial. I never do. Well, if I do like sponsor content, it is clearly labeled. So Hank B is asking, is it 4K? This stream is 4K. The Formlabs, technically it doesn't have a resolution, or it doesn't have some pixels. So let me walk you through the tech specs real quick. And we've got another camera over here. That angle is new. So this is not an LCD 3D printer. So I gotta make that clear. So what you typically have with a resin printer is you have basically a phone screen that has a set resolution. This is a laser-based SLA printer. So it's the proper the original technology of SLA printing, where you have not a screen that is static, but you have an actual laser dot that is curing that bottom layer of resin. So that means you don't have pixels that you're curing, you have vectors, you have lines that you're curing, just like on a regular FDM filament-based printer. The nozzle, or in this case the laser, actually moves along a path, and that path isn't constrained to like individual pixels. So that is the big thing about this one. You're not going to see those little jagged details, I'm hoping, that you're seeing on some of the 1440p printers. But also it means it doesn't cure the entire layer at once, or it doesn't cure the entire layer in one go. It actually has to travel along the path, along the contour. It has to do infill. It does all that just like a filament-based printer. So it has its ups and downs, and I've not used a laser-based resin printer yet, and I'm curious as to like how fast it's going to be, like what the detail is going to look like. Also, this has a I guess a very user-friendly cartridge system kind of thing, and I have no idea how well that's going to work out. So yeah, let me walk you. Oh, by the way, Windows 11, actually not bad. So let me walk you through the tech specs real quick. So XY resolution is 25 micron. That is how accurately it can position its laser. Basically, yeah, that's the closest thing to like your pixel size in an SLA printer. The laser spot, however, is 85 microns. So the smallest detail you're going to be able to reproduce is 85 microns large. The smallest detail is 85 microns. Yeah, so that is basically your nozzle size, like with a filament-based printer. So 85 micron nozzle. That is actually one of the bigger differences to the prior Form 2, which had a larger laser spot. I believe the Form 2 was 150 micron or something. So the Form 3 is slower, but it is more accurate, more precise. It can do finer details. So it's a 250 milliwatt laser. Build volume, I mean, you can read it right there, right? 145 millimeters, so on the larger side. It's not quite as large as a Saturn, but it is significantly larger than the Prusa or what are they called? The Elegoo Mars machines. Layer thickness, you know, as expected for SLA. Resin fill system automated. That's what I said with the cartridge system. So it has a resin pump, I believe. Auto-generated light touch removal. Yeah. And biocompatible materials. Yeah. As you can see, like, this is more of a high-end pro printer, I guess. This is one that that usually you see in like in environments where people use this thing for profit. Where like an Elegoo Mars or something would be a bit underqualified for the job. And thank you for the tip, whip stibs. £5.50. Thank you very much. Nah, I gotta fix my YouTube overlays and stuff. I've still got Streamlabs going. Oh, there it is. There it is. I still have that going through Streamlabs, but Streamlabs, nah, want to get rid of them and switch over to Stream Elements, I believe. Righty-ho. So I'm gonna have to take this thing off of the table because I'm not gonna be able to lift it out. Yeah, one of the things why I've kept putting off the stream and why the current video is late. I know there should have been, if we're on the 2-week schedule, there should have been a video this Friday. Why that's been late is I've been having shoulder problems on this side. This is the shoulder that I had a bike accident with, that I basically fell on, and it's kind of busted up. And over the last couple weeks and months, it's just been tensing up, and I couldn't do a lot of things. I still can't do a lot of things like use a computer for more than half an hour without this entire thing tensing up, which kind of sucks if your job is, you know, doing projects with 3D printing where you have to use CAD or video editing. You know, so I'm trying to do a bit more live streaming, which hopefully is going to make up the difference. So yeah, let's see. We get USB cable, standard USB. What is this? B cable, printer cable, and a quick start guide. Let's actually start here because I believe Formlabs did send over like a how to unbox the printer kind of thing. So I don't want to unbox this wrong. The A camera looks a bit overexposed, unfortunately. We're gonna have to deal with this. Enclosed leveling disc. So let's see. There. Enclosed leveling disc, quick start guide, USB cable, and a hex key, 3mm hex key. Okay. So let's see. To get started, contact. What? Oh, for additional product support. Okay, you don't have to contact Formlabs to get started. Formlabs.com/setup. So we're gonna look at that. That is, oh, it's a booklet. Okay. We're gonna have a look at that and kind of have that walk us through. I believe there is a video and stuff. So you get a description of, okay, the stuff you have to remove. We're gonna do that on the screen cap so you guys can see it well. And yes, safety warnings. Safety warnings, so let's actually head over here to the Formlabs, what's the URL? .com/setup. They do have quite a bit about, ooh. Okay, so this is basically the same as with BCN 3D. I just wanted the unboxing. Oh, we have to skip you can skip registration. Okay. Can I unbox this? There was an unboxing URL. Finishing pathway. So they've got tons of documentation here. So onboarding is just unboxing and print preparation. Okay, we're gonna have a look at that. No, Google, I don't want to have a look at you. tank handling, guides for making the most of preform, which is the software used to slice. Using the form wash and form cure. I don't think that's these two. I don't think I have those. Then if you're using it for dental, if you're using it for jewelry, if you're using it in schools and education, entertainment, so films, digital props, and actual production, manufacturing, engineering, finishing. So finishing, I think everyone is going to need to do because, you know, as you know, resin prints, you do have to cure and finish. So let's jump in here, and I'm seeing Jean Fritz has joined in as a YouTube member. Thank you and welcome. Let's begin. That's the video. Can I just... Okay.
Today, we'll show you how to unbox and set up.
Do we have audio from this? Yeah, we do. Okay. I don't have audio from this.
The Form 3 basic package comes with a Form 3.
I'm just going to have a look at the video and see what's happening.
And tank. Inside the first box, you'll find your Form 3.
Okay, open the box. We did that.
Start guide, leveling
Quick
disc,
start guide. That we found all that.
And USB cables. Remove the cables and manual from atop the packaging and place them aside for later.
Power cord.
Reach into the box and take hold of the cardboard handles on either side of the printer, then pull. You'll find your finish kit and part removal tools in a separate box.
The Form 3 has a latch, which holds the optics module, also known as the light processing unit, or LPU, in place during shipping.
Unfortunately, I can't hear the video, but remove the latch entirely before powering on the printer.
Look inside to see the LPU on the right side of the printer. On the LPU housing, toward the front of the printer, you'll see a latch held in place by 2 thumb screws. Remove these thumb screws by hand. It is extremely
okay, but basically the printer tells you what to do after all of this.
Before powering on the printer. Place the latch and screws aside for safekeeping.
Kyle, thank you for joining in as a YouTube member.
Form 3 will remind you to remove the shipping line.
Okay, I'm going to pause that and we're going to get to that step after we take everything out. So, printer, big piece of foam on top. Lift with your knees, but unfortunately you have to reach into the box. So lifting with knees, not much of an option. So I was surprised seeing this because it's black. It's supposed to have an orange hood, but cardboard cradle with lifting handles. Oh, that was a cardboard cradle with lifting handles. Yeah, like I said, I didn't see the video. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, so it's... I should do this properly. So there is a cardboard cradle with lifting handles. So that's what the printer sits on, and I could have taken that out with the lifting handles. Okay. All right, that is a big box that's definitely gonna get in my way, but we're gonna deal with that in a second. Okay, haven't said hello to Kyle as a member? I think I did, but welcome. Yeah, so who pointed that out? Philippe pointed it out. Yeah, Shane, stuff made here. I didn't know he was leading the team on the print or on Formlabs. I did know he was like very heavily involved with them because obviously he's talked about that on his channel, but I didn't know he was leading the team. Great channel, by the way. Ooh, that was some static discharge. Yeah, stuff made here. Highly recommended. If you guys probably know about it, so why am I telling you about it? But great channel. Highly recommended if you're into, well, really cool projects. All right, power cord. There is the Form 3, and it's large. It's large. It is actually, there we go. It is significantly larger. So footprint-wise, it's about 4 times as much as an Elegoo Mars, and compared to the Prusa, which I guess is like it. I don't know if it's a step down from this, but I would compare it to the Prusa, which is a smaller printer. Though again, I don't know how closely they match. Ooh, is this? Look at that. It's dampened. It stays in position. All right. Yeah, compared to the Prusa, it is still very much significantly larger. So, first impression, it's a printer. It's like, it is very industrial. So we've got a huge cast aluminum, magnesium part in here that's holding like most of the stuff in here. Huge linear rail back here. Is that a wiper? Oh no, that entire thing moves across. Let me see if I can get you a view in here somewhat. Kinda, I guess. So maybe a bit too dark, but linear axis here. So this thing, I guess, slides over or under the resin vat. Okay, so there's a bit of tape here. Oh, that didn't come off cleanly. And that tape, haha, that tape only releases once you've removed the transport lock, which is down here. That's the exact thing that you guys saw in the video. Oh, they're using aluminum screws for this? Wow. That's a bit overkill. And another one. That is like CNC'd aluminum. Okay. And then this thing comes off once you've released the, that's a metal part too, once you've released the transport lock. That is a nice bit of poker yoke where it is obvious, okay, this thing needs to go because it's right there in the printer. This thing needs to be removed, but it's only letting you remove it once you actually do the step that they want you to do. It's a great design choice. Okay, so we've got that. A bit of hard to see. That is hard to see, but there's a bit of sticky from the label lift. Ooh, and then back here. By the way, these are that perspective and that perspective and that perspective up here. All new cameras. That's now all the same type of camera, which is a Sony ZV-1. So it has the motor zoom. Whoop, and that tripod is also new and very floppy. Follow the instructions in the quick start guide to release the shipping latch before connecting printer to power. So you can, this is not poker yoke, but it is very obvious. Okay, you want to plug this in. Oh, there's another hint. Remove this. Oh, and it left the slightest bit of adhesive on it. Come on. That peel was very satisfying up until that bit. All right. Cameras seem out of focus. Well, they should autofocus, so I don't know. So we've removed the transport latch, and I believe that is the only thing that that we needed to do on this printer. So we get the power cord. Plug that in. And we should be able, so there's no other, so another bit of like good design so far is the printer is black and orange, right? But the stuff that you have to remove, the stuff that you have to do is blue. So this latch is blue, the thumb screws are blue, the labels were blue that we were removing. That's good design, right? That is simple, that is logical. I like that. I like that. Okay, so plug in, I guess. Nothing's stopping me from plugging in. Place the printer on a level surface. Done that, connect the power cable to the printer and power outlet. Okay, and it's told me in 4 different spots that I need to remove the transport lock, which we have done. So, plug in here and okay, we've got a fan spinning up, which means it is booting up. Oh, my camera just turned off because it's out of battery. I'm gonna go plug that in and give it some fresh juice while the printer powers up. Guess that battery bank is full. Yeah. Congratulations on your new Formlabs printer. Press begin to set up your device. So there is a bit of a, looks like there's some, oh no. I was gonna say, it looks like there's some bubbles on here, but no more bubbles. That's a good peel. Congratulations on the new Formlabs printer. So you get this slick front plate, and that's I mean, that is a risky move, having high gloss parts on a resin printer, because as soon as you get resin on it, this thing's going to look like garbage. So either they're super confident that their printer is not going to get messy on the outside, which I would very much appreciate, because that's something I hate about other resin printers, where you literally can't touch the where you literally can't touch the printer itself on the outside without getting resin on your fingers, which you definitely shouldn't do. So that is confidence right there, high gloss surface. So illuminated Formlabs logo, I guess that blinks and gives you status information at some point maybe. And of course you get a touchscreen. Press begin to set up your device. Confirm that you have removed the LPU latch. Okay, that's like the 5th time or something that they're telling me. I have done that, yes. So Wi-Fi, but you can use it without Wi-Fi. Okay, that's my camera. Let's connect it to Wi-Fi. Let's not show you my guest network anyways, but let's not show you my password there. So obviously everything on here goes onto an isolated Wi-Fi that is like separated from everything else in the house. And we're about to connect. And yeah, so printers go into that network. My laptop goes into that network. And yeah, that works. So we have successfully connected to our guest Wi-Fi. It's important that the printer sits level so resin does not overflow from the tank during printing. Okay, so I guess the printer would have to sit very unlevel for that to happen, but this table is pretty level. Rotate the discs around the printer's foot to raise each corner. The printer is level when all dots on the neck. Ooh, you've got an accelerometer on this thing to level it? Wow. Wow. So I'm gonna place it like this so that I can use it, and once we start printing, I can get the camera in here, maybe a bit further towards me. Oh, look at that! Wow, wow. So as I tilt it, look at that. It is live. Oh, I like this thing. So how does this work? So there's little feet down here. Yeah, and you can just unscrew them. Okay, they're leveling feet. Okay, so this one needs to come out a bit more. Even more. Come on, how much further do I... Is my table really that much out of level? Okay, so this one needs to come out a bit further. And then you need to come out way further. Okay. Oh, that was too much. Just want to make sure it's not rocking. Okay. That looks good. Tap next to begin tank installation. I don't have a tank yet. I've not unboxed that yet. So I guess it's time to look into the other package. There's this that clips around the feet so you don't have to lift. Oh, that disc. That's what that's for. Ooh. Did it tell me to use the disc? Ah, it should have told me to use the disc. no, I mean, no problem, but that's what that was for. Okay. Tap next to begin tank installation. Remove tank lid and packaging materials. So that's going to be in the other package. Sorry if you guys hate that noise of me drinking tea. So, package. So there is the other package. If tape is peeled, torn, inspect contents prior to acceptance. Let's see what we get. Am I pushing stuff off the table? Yeah. So we are getting, oh yeah, I guess you need this too. You need a build platform, right? That's about the size that it prints. 145 something. You get a resin tank, V2.1. And you get resin. Okay, so it is, resin cartridge. That looks like a resin canister. Isn't the Form 3 really old news? Yeah, but can't I, like, does it mean I can't have a look at it? I'm interested in this thing. It's not that old, right? So that is the finish kit, which I believe we will need for finishing. So like literally once the prints are to be finished. So that's going to be something we can unbox while the printer is printing. So resin tank, we need the resin tank. I wonder if they also have a resin healer to go along with that. So there's some more packaging. Do not touch or puncture film, which I hope is not the packaging film that they've got this in. Do not touch the bottom of the tank. Okay, so that is there's a cover on that tank right now, or on that bottom right now. Place mixer, flatten tank with arms facing mixer case. Okay, let's get this out of its film first. It has a DRM, yeah. So that's actually something that I'm very curious about. So resin cartridge. I don't know what's in here. Whether there's like a little chip in there that that it scans, or how that works. And I am curious to find out like whether you can use third-party resins with this. Though, given the market that this thing sits in, it usually is worth quite a bit to the user to have a reliable and repeatable experience. So, you know, getting a DRM'd resin system might not actually be something that's bothering people when they know they can get the exact resin that the printer was designed for and just get a guaranteed good experience. That might be something that is worth it to the target audience of this printer. So again, this is quite the expensive machine, and maybe not something that you watching as someone who's looking into, hey, should I get the Elegoo Mars 3 or should I get this thing? You're probably going to want to get the Elegoo Mars 3 if you're considering that. This is a different market segment. However, it is still interesting to me, and hopefully to you guys as well, what they're doing here, and maybe we can learn from what they're doing and just see what else is out there, right? So lid handles mixer film case. So film is our FEP film typically. Tweezers, scrapers do not scrape or touch the bottom of the tank. Must not be puncturable. Obviously then you've got resin running all over your printer. So there's our blue sticker again, which means we need to do something before installing this. Place mixer flat in tank with arms facing mixer case on left. Mixer will only sit flat against tank film if oriented properly. Okay. So this is like, Looks like a little scraper on there. Is this a mono-screen printer? No, it is a laser-based. Oh, I should actually switch cameras. This is a laser-based printer. So there is no LCD screen in this thing at all. I did explain this a couple minutes ago. Maybe chat can fill in here. So looks like they've got magnets or something on the side here. I don't know. And then this kind of scrapes over the FEP film. I have no idea how that works. We're just gonna have to find out. So there's like one plastic blade here and another plastic blade there. And it has to sit with, I guess, with the arms up and inwards like that. It would have been nice if they've had like a little top facing, because it goes in right underneath there, I believe. If it just had like a little illustration, like the exact orientation that you wanted in. So that literally, so it just sits, it just touches the FEP film, and I don't think there's anything else we need to remove there. Slide the mixer into the case until its arms click into place. Okay, that wasn't very much of a click, but I believe that's where it's supposed to sit. Yeah. I'll take that off. Oh, we're going to keep that on the package as I did with the other stickers. So clear plastic bit here. This entire thing comes out. Okay. So this is the actual. Okay. Is that like a? Nah. Does that have like an FEP film? Fill me in here. So what I'm seeing here, there is what to me looks like the FEP film as on any other printer. But it is not. On a typical printer, you have this is your resin vat, basically, right? That's I guess back here where the resin pours in out of the resin pump or whatever, and then it's sitting here and it's getting exposed from the underside. Now, typically your FEP film, which the print should release from, basically you're exposing from here, and then I don't get it. And then the print basically has to peel off from this film every now and then, or every layer. It looks like it's actually going around the roller on this side. It also looks like it's going around another roller on that side. Maybe I can show you on this camera. So yeah, there's one roller there. There is another roller here. Is there like an FEP film cartridge in there and it just moves it forward? It doesn't look like it's doing that, but that would be pretty cool. Now it looks like it's just how it's mounted. So it appears this bit right here, which is probably incredibly hard to see. There we go. This bit right here is attached to the film, and you can kind of unclick this. I don't know. There might be a servicing instruction for that. And then over here, it's also held in place. I thought this was like an automatically replenishing or refreshing FEP film. But yeah, that would be a bit crazy, because you're running into all sorts of sealing issues with that. So this tray, I guess, is actually reusable. So you can take these out. These are, I guess, just for shipping. And then you can store your resin tanks in there. And I think one of the big features of the Formlabs machines is you can switch resins somewhat conveniently. So if you get extra ones of these, of the resin tanks, yeah. You can have one type of resin that just stays with that tank. You take it out of the machine, you put it in the container, you put the orange transport lid on, or storage lid on, and you just leave whatever resin is in there, and you grab another tank and use that for a different type of resin. So yeah, this thing needs to go in the printer. I don't think, yeah, there's no dust on here, so that's good. Remove the tank lid and packaging materials. Up. So remove tank lid and packaging materials. We did that. Place mixer flat in tank. Okay, the tank instructed us to do that. Align the resin tank sidewalls with the left and right tank carrier rails. Okay, what are the tank carrier rails? I guess it's these guys up top here. So we have what appears to be our tank carrier rails, which are probably a bit hard to see. But over here, there's two plastic rails, part of the housing. And then that goes in the back here. That little snout that you can see in just barely in the back there, that goes in here. And that's, I guess, where it's going to dispense the resin out of. Push the handles until the sidewalls lock into the rails. The resin tank clicks into place and sits firmly. So I guess I push this. How firmly do I have to push this? I don't want to break it. Okay, it needs to sit down. Okay, that clicks into place. Okay, there was no click there, but it did make a confirmation sound. So basically to replace that, you pull it, it comes out, and then you drop it back in. And you push it back, and it should be, yep, it should be in there. So, okay. And that is pushed back pretty far. Or pretty far as it's gonna go, essentially. So there are two contacts in there. Let me show you what it does when I insert it. There are two electrical contacts in there. I don't know if that's just for identification, because what it does, so it says tank V 2.1, so it's identifying which revision of the tank it is, but also as we install it, it's saying unused tank V 2.1 inserted. So it's got some information about this tank that might allow another level of DRM, where it's like, okay, you can only use original Formlabs Form 3 tanks, which I don't know if there would even be a market for like third-party replacements, but the printer can identify the tanks, which is cool. I guess it's gonna know, I've not used it, I guess it's gonna know which resin you had loaded into the tank, and it's gonna tell you, hey, maybe we've got an incompatible resin in the tank or in the resin reservoir. I don't know, we'll find out. Your resin tank is installed. Avoid contaminating the underside of the resin tank with well, it's too late for that. I'm not going to be touching the underside now. Tab next to begin platform installation. Raise locking arm to allow build platform insertion. So typically on the printers you have like a little knob right there. This is just a lever, and it's spring loaded. Align the build platform with the platform carrier. So we need to unbox this. There's our build platform. Easy enough. That looks like it's coming out, but are you supposed to be coming out? I don't think so. So this is our platform, and there's like I don't think this is supposed to be coming out. Hold on, it came out a bit more. It looks like it's in a seal actually. So I'm gonna gently push you back in. Might have been handled a bit roughly during transport. Yeah, so this is like oh yeah, there's another lid on the other side. So this is an all aluminum part. It's like a cast part, and it's just got this, because it's not a solid part. It's hollow on the inside. It's just got these plastic end caps on. Is that actually? Is it cast or is it? Nah, it's not extruded, right? It's gotta be cast, or is it extruded? I don't know. So yeah. So basically you can hold it like that, and there's quite a bit of distance between your actual print surface where your print is going to stick to, and the top side that might get in contact with you. I believe that is so that it can actually dive into the resin and not spill over the top. So this entire height here is so that it can like submerge itself into the resin without it spilling over and getting close to your handling surface, which is this plastic part up top. Well, we're gonna see. So there's our build platform clip, and the way, yeah, it's just a little cam down here that's pushing something against the build plate. And oh yeah, you just go all the way over. You click in. Does it detect that too? No, it does not. There's no, it's just a little spring detent, looks like. That doesn't sound great though. It's like something, but anyway, it just locks in place, and it's on there. So rigidity wise, wow, that is really good. The only thing that's moving is my table. The printer is like, it's rock solid. It's got a huge linear rail in the back, you can see that. So yeah, that's looking, I mean, look at this thing, like it is beefy. It is really beefy the way it's standing there with the wide base, and this entire thing, it just looks like a tank. Not as in like a resin tank, but built like a tank. Yeah, so there's that. There's the platform installed. The lid is holding up, which is great. So, what am I missing in chat? Not much. Scott's here. Hey, good to see you, or good to have you in chat. And greetings back to Austin. Okay, so we've got the resin tank, or well, we've got the resin tank installed, we've got the build platform installed. Align the build platform with the platform carrier, push into place. We did that, easy enough. Lower the platform lock to secure. We did that. And again, it's very easy to tell when it's locked because it's actually flush up top. And when it's unlocked, this thing is sticking out. So it's not like a knob where it could be. Again, it's just that's just good design, right? Both on the Prushas, on the Elegoo machines, I've done that a couple of times where I started the print and I didn't have the platform secured all the way because it's impossible to tell whether that. Do I have one here? No, I put that. It's over there. That knob that basically locks on the platform, whether that is tight or loose. But with this, like there's no in between position. Like here, it's still locked, but if it's up, it's up. If this thing is sticking up, your platform is loose. If it's down, it is super easy to tell with just one click glance whether this thing is loose or locked. So I like that. I'm liking a lot of design choices about this printer so far. Right. Yeah, 4K, 4,000 US dollars until you get this running. Like I said, it's not cheap, and it is the most expensive printer I have had in the studio, and the most expensive printer that I've reviewed. So I guess it's kind of natural that it might be good. But then again, I've had expensive printers that were just expensive for expensive sake, that didn't have anything substantial to them. Here, so far, it's looking like you're actually getting more for your money, right? Okay, but enough rambling. Lower the platform lock to secure. We did that. Your build platform is installed. Keep the surface clean for best results. So keep the top surface clean as well. Should be obvious. Tap next to begin cartridge installation. Shake the cartridge. So we need a cartridge. We have a choice of 2 cartridges. Photopolymer resin gray or gray. Wow. That is okay. Gray resin V4. Which one should we use? Should we use the gray or the gray? I don't know. I guess we'll use the gray. And we're going to save you for later. I thought there was, so they said they would ship me resin. They did ship me resin. I was hoping it would be a bit more variety than this, but hey, I'll take what I get. So there we go. Now, question. Do I need to wear gloves? Is this a system where you have no chance of getting resin onto your skin because stuff that's sealed? I'm always getting wary, where it's like, hey, this could be contaminated. It looks like it's clean. It does look like it's clean. Okay. Oh, I don't like that. That is ink cartridge style. I'm just gonna put on some gloves because I don't trust resins. I don't trust it. I'm gonna put on gloves anyway. I just bought 2,000 gloves, so might as well use them. Okay, shake the cartridge. Where can I grab this? It looks like this is a two-part system where the actual resin is up here and this is just stuff underneath. That's supposed to be in here? No. What do you mean shake? There's nothing, this thing is like completely filled up. There's nothing that's shaking around. So how much resin are we actually getting here? 1 liter. 1 liter. Of course, it's got all these safety warnings on here. That was actually a point that I wanted to make at some point because I had a different set of quick start instructions open, and the first thing it told you was, here's our safety instructions. Make sure you read them. Make sure you follow them, because the resin is not to be messed with, which I very much agree with. And I appreciate that they're doing that, because a lot of manufacturers are not doing that as well, at least. So if somebody wants to look up the price for one of these resin cartridges, that would be appreciated. I have not done that, but you guys can have a quick look at that. So 1 kilogram of photopolymer gray resin, the FLG PGR 04. I guess this is just a standard gray resin. 170 bucks, 150, 158, 159. Ooh. Yeah, that's a lot. Like right now you can get your I don't want to say off-brand, but you can get the Elegoo resins or stuff for like 30 to 40 bucks if you get them at the right time. So yeah, significantly more expensive. But so is the rest of the machine. There is some glossy stuff on here, so I guess wearing gloves wasn't the worst of ideas. Tough resin is incredible. Yeah. That's also expired. Yeah, so that's something that maybe we can dive a bit more into once we've got everything running. Remove the orange plastic valve cover from the bottom of the cartridge. Leave the rubber valve in place. So that says that up here says press. So we're not doing that yet. So we're just doing the on this side. So pull like that. Okay, that came off scarily easily. So there's a rubber cap on here still. That's, I guess, inlet, outlet, I would assume. Okay, we did that. Align the cartridge with the opening in the back of the printer. Push down until it sits securely. Why are you so far zoomed in? Oh, because we're on Zoom. We have another Zoom here. Wow. So, I guess push you in. Maybe let's move the finishing kit a bit over here. So, I guess if I shake this rubber thing might... Wait, where? Do I... Oh, there! Okay. There. there. It's literally, so of course the back side of the printer, can we get you a bit brighter? Yeah. Backside of the printer, of course, stays in place. It's like a molded acrylic piece back here, but you can only insert it when the cover is down. I'm wondering now, you know, with everything that I've seen so far, I'm wondering if that is like an intentional decision to not allow you to switch resin tanks. Is this thing called the resin tank? I believe so, yeah. While the cover is up. So right now you can't insert it. Maybe you can see it on that. Yeah, that's a slot. Now you can insert it. If the cover is up, you can't. Huh. So the shape of this resin tank, I guess, is actually because it goes around the z-axis. So in here, that thing, that's the z-axis of the printer. Looks like it was a bit of a tight squeeze to fit everything into the form factor that they wanted. Okay. All right, so that is in there. That is, I guess it just told me something that it's inserted. I don't want to remove it again because I'm afraid I'm gonna spill resin. That's like typically what you get with inkjet cartridges. Push down until it sits securely. Okay, so we've pushed down. We've actually let it drop in place. Press open the vent cap so that the resin tank fills correctly. Okay, so hope I'm not sitting on the cable. So if I actually press down on the vent cap back here, there's a bit of orange tape here. I guess I should remove that. I'm just going to press. Okay, it says press. I'm going to press here. Oh, I guess I do need to remove the tape. Nope. Nope. Where? How did I get this into shot? There. Guess I do need to remove that. Yeah. I wish this was blue tape though. So before we had all blue parts that needed to be removed. Now it's orange. Maybe make it blue too, just to keep it consistent and to kind of visually see that's why I'm getting confused. I was expecting stuff to be removed to be blue. Now we had the orange flap. Yeah, okay, it's consistent on the resin cartridge, but just like keep it blue. So okay, let's do this again. We've got this press thing here, so we're gonna press and that should pop up, and okay, there's like a little air inlet back here. I guess you can seal that back up. Yeah, oh, it's actually biting onto my glove. You can seal it back up once you take the cartridge out, I assume. All right. Press open the valve cap. We did that so that the resin tank fills correctly. So it's not filling yet. The cartridge is installed. Close cap and shake the cartridge before each print. So I guess you can take them out. So you can close the cap, take out the entire resin cartridge, shake it, and put it back in without spilling. Ooh. Okay, so now we're jumping back into the. Hey, yo, camera. Can you turn back on? Hello? Camera? There we go. So now we're jumping back over into the online setup, and I guess we're actually connecting this printer to an account. Can you? I guess you can skip this, but like let's do it the way that they want you to do it. So formlabs.com/setup. And I'm going to take my gloves off again because I'm getting sweaty underneath, and so far we didn't need it. Enter 4-digit code from a printer. P3TS. Okay. Now let's do Formlabs. Set your password. Okay, I'm gonna set my password real quick. Yeah. Tell us more, industry. Unfortunately, they can't. Oh yeah, I can scroll far. I can scroll down far enough. Select industry. What are we? Are we media? Healthcare, entertainment. There we go. Entertainment, other. I guess that's. Yeah, this is my first resin printer. What am I missing in chat? You don't have to register it. I guess we're registering it. Save that password. Because I'm thinking I'm gonna have to register it anyways. I do assume this thing has some cloud features and connectivity stuff. Doesn't have a camera, it seems, but at least I would be able to like control it, check on it from a browser, and I do want to try that out. So why not register it and do it the way that they want you to do it? On-screen printer setup. So it is picking up the printer Rare Ibis was successfully registered to dashboard. So it generates that name, and now I guess we have follow the steps below. Yeah, on the printers we should find it, but let me just check the stuff. So set up preform, we're going to download that. Explore dashboard, see my printers. And Rare Ibis is online. It's detecting Gray V4. It's got an unused resin tank and vat in it. Why is that red? Red's making me think there's something wrong with it. No print jobs, 0 prints completed, print success. I guess it's going to show you print success rate. It might ask you after the print, hey, was this successful? And it might send me email notifications or something, so if you want, but it's off by default, which I like. So firmware update, I guess it does cloud firmware updates and stuff. So you can upload via USB. Where does it have USB though? Is there? Okay, so USB is literally with the USB cable if you want to use preform old school, like with a computer connected, like you use a desktop inkjet printer or something. Oh, so one interesting thing, it is not random, it might be randomly, it's probably randomly generated names, but if you look at the back here, and I don't know how much this is going to mess things up if I show you the details back here, but there, serial number is Rare Ibis. This is already, so this is consistent. This printer is always going to be called Rare Ibis. It's already in there. I don't know what the plus does, but it's not getting louder when I press it. It does have a Kensington lock slot back there. So if you want to secure your printer, you can actually lock it to whatever desk you've got it sitting on, which can be convenient in like schools or expos or wherever. It keeps people from just randomly walking off with a Form 300 there under their arm. What is that? What is that noise? Ah. So yeah. So what was I going to say? Printer name is consistent. Preform is downloaded. So let's just see what the printer has in store for us here. Initializing printer. Ooh, it's doing stuff. It is a, no, it is not. So it has, ooh, that is interesting. So how can I show you that? I guess I can just take the camera, and I'm hoping I'm not going to make you guys sick by doing this. I can actually grab this camera and show you the machine right there. I'm hoping image stabilization somewhat works. So what I'm seeing here is that, so that's the vat we put in, and that is the optical unit, the wiper underneath. And that just moved over. Now, what you can maybe see with the reflection is it looks like it's actually pushing on the FEP film. So it looks like it's using that motion of actually bending the film slightly to release the print. That's not too bad. If it's actually how that works. Yeah, Joel, sorry for giving you guys the dizzies moving around here. But yeah, that just moved into place over there. Okay, I'm gonna switch back to that camera. I don't have a camera operator here, unfortunately, so I do have to do this stuff myself, which means it's not gonna be perfect, but hey, that's what I do. That's how I roll. That's the peel mechanism, yeah. I liked it. You can actually see, maybe not from that angle. You can actually see this thing peeling up. That's very nice. That's pretty smart. Because it means you're actually peeling the print off. You're actually using that like you're peeling off a sticker almost, instead of trying to rip the entire print off in one go. It stirs that way, not releasing. Well, that's the wiper that we clicked in up top, I guess. That's actually moving across, but it's using the whatever's underneath to bend the film. Yeah, it is very much bending that film. So I guess that's why they needed, that's why they've got that film suspended in the way where it's like, it's stretched and then clicked in on the ends. Okay. So what can we do here? Ready to print. Upload a job. Upload a job to Rare Ibis. I guess that's what we can do through Preform. Prime, I guess that's gonna let some resin into the tank. I don't think I want to touch that yet. Upload a print to queue. Cartridge feed 4 is full, less than 1,000, so full. We've got temperature, though. Is the inside of the platform and stuff? Ooh, is that heated? Days with resin. What? That can't be right. That looks like some sort of an overflow. Yeah. Your tank V2.1 does not have a maximum recommended lifetime with this resin. Replace this tank when you notice punctures, cuts, or gouges in the film or significantly worse print quality. So we've not printed anything, but apparently it thinks it has 18,979 days already with resin in it. Okay, that's not accurate. The Formlabs has not existed this long. More info. Tank lifetime depends on a combination of factors, including time exposed to resin, print volume, model geometry, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, somebody in chat already pointed out that these tanks do have a built-in expiry mechanism because, of course, they're identified by the printer, and I guess the printer at some point just refuses to print with it, or, you know, issues a warning or something. But not with the basic resin, apparently. Not the V2.1 with the basic resin. So yeah, and it detects that the platform is present. So let me see what happens if we take out the platform. I guess we can do that anytime. It says please close the cover, but we're just going to briefly ignore that. It says close the cover, sure. But what if we just take out the platform? What if we just take out the platform and close it back up? So first of all, it actually, that's interesting. So the latch actually, you can hear it, and you can't quite close it easily because the latch is rubbing against the top of the cover. That might be intentional, I don't know. And of course, yeah, it says platform is missing. So right there, platform missing, immediately recognizes it. So I'm not sure if that is like a, I don't think there's some electrical connection in there. I think that is just mechanical. I think that there's just some sort of a switch that we're triggering by inserting it so that it detects that the platform is there. Okay, and then we can do connectivity, that's Wi-Fi and stuff, maintenance, printer leveling, printer is level. Is it still level? It is still level, that's good. Reprogram tank, cleaning mesh, I have no idea what that does. Resin level and LPU replacement. Anything interesting here? Power saving, status alerts, printer details. Statistics, okay, so 32 gigs apparently built in, of which you can use 25 gigs for your models. Loading licenses, okay, so that's all the open source info that they're, as usual, hiding away. Remote assistance, I guess that is for getting assistance from Formlabs directly. Firmware update? Are we up to date? Ah, connect to preform, so you can only... I would have expected better than this. Connect to preform to check for firmware updates. So you actually have to apparently connect with USB for firmware updates. Huh. Okay. Well, the SL1 can do Wi-Fi updates. This one can't. Interesting. So, do a benchy. Let's check out preform. Let's just check out the software that we're going to be using with this. So, obviously, I don't think using Shitubox or Prusa Slicer or any other slicer, I don't think that is an option with the Form 3. So we are going to use preform. No start menu, I don't want you. So we're going to use preform as suggested by Formlabs. You can do firmware updates over Wi-Fi with preform. Okay, that's good. Okay, so I think somebody, so while that is setting up, somebody had already suggested we do the Easter egg in the menu, and I didn't trust that person. But Eric posted it again, so we're going to try the little Easter egg. So double tap each one of these, I believe, to activate it. Tap, 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 tap. I did it wrong. Double tap each of the 4 icons from top down, so you can, let's try that again. Tap, 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 tap. No Easter egg for me. Do I have to do it quicker? Ha! There we go. It is Flappy Bird. Oh, wow. Do you have to hold on this? No. Oh, that's laggy. That is super laggy. That is so laggy. Wow. Okay. So you get a little Flappy Bird Easter egg in there on the printer, but it's like, look at that delay. Okay, that's fun, but it's unplayable. Sorry. That is very much unplayable. All right, can we like preform? Can we like install or something? Anything else going on? Nope. Processing. Processing. Ah! So I'm hoping that's going to complete. I'm hoping we don't run into a brick wall with Windows 11 here. I literally just updated before the stream. I was like, hey, yeah, why not? Let's. What are the odds? I'm running Windows 11 successfully on 2 other machines, including my main editing workstation, and it's good, but hoping this, hope we didn't screw this up here. So do we get a, what do we have for notifications? You registered, okay, that's that. That's the downloads. Let's see, preform compatibility, software compatibility. Windows 7, Windows 7 or higher, Windows 7 and up. So 11's greater than 7, so it should work. Is there anything? Release notes. Yes, release notes. Guess we don't get release notes. Okay. Ah, we're done. Okay. That just took a while. I don't know why that took so long, but hey, it finished. Do they have a web slicer? So this is the entire web interface that we're getting. Dashboard upgrade group is now team. Okay. One print available. So basically this is print farm management too. If you have multiple Formlabs machines. Get started, learn the basics of printing. I guess we can figure that out. Statistics, 7 days, 30 days. What you're printing, how much you're printing. So all the jobs printed on your printers. We've been there. Materials, total material and inventory. So I guess once you insert a resin cartridge into a printer, it gets added to your inventory and you get an overview of what you have and how much is left there. So last use, so all the cartridges that you have in storage, once you've used them, I guess, get registered. That's a neat idea. That's like free data that they're using. But it doesn't look like they have some sort of a web slicer. Oh yeah, let's see what, so they have a store link right there. Let's just see what they have for materials while we're here. Gray resin, 149, so that's the one we're using, I guess, plus tax, as always. That's what we're using, gray, the FLG PGR04. I don't know if that name is an Easter egg, or if it's just a really weird serial number name. Gray Pro, tough resin for 175. I think somebody in chat already said, hey, that's a really great material. Flexible for 200 bucks a liter. Per liter. Explorer pack, castable wax, 300. So high temp for 200. It's expensive resin, right? You can't really compare it with the regular MSLA resins that you would use. I don't know how much better they are, but they're definitely more expensive. Okay, so let's check out oh God, Windows Start menu. Preform, at least the search now works. That's something that's been bothering me about Windows 10. So we get teeth. No, because I mean, I don't think I've got a typical setup. Preform tour. The preform interface has 3 main sections. Toolbar for performing. So what is the, okay. Toolbar, print view, job info. Basically like every other slicer that I've used. Formlabs account. One-click print automatically orients, supports, and lays out your models for optimal printing results. Huh. That's going to be something I'll be testing to see whether that's actually how good that is, because how Sheetbox Pro has tried to copy that and to do like a, oh yeah, we're like auto-orienting stuff, but in Sheetbox, that feature has been 100% horrible. Absolutely unusable. It's going to be interesting to see whether Preform actually does a better job here. Scale, okay. Orientation, okay. Supports auto generate. We're gonna figure that out. I guess you can also manually place it. Place supports. Layout. Print view, okay. View controls, so you can slide and go through your layers. It's all pretty familiar, like, right? A slicer, a slice is a slice. They all have to do the same job. They have to prepare your model, they have to add supports, they have to give you a preview, like, okay. Job setup. Materials, okay. Details, so this is where you set up stuff, and this is where it shows you the result of that setup. Printability. Oh, printability checks. I like that. I think what was it called? Prusa's non-Prusa slicer. What was that called? Prusa control. Yeah, that may have had something like that, or asked for something like that to be implemented, but they never did. Printability pass, show minima, show cups. Minima, I guess, is like the unsupported start points or something. Model list. Why is it always the drill handle? Ultimaker has that same demo model, I think. Start a print, and then remote Wi-Fi USB cable. Okay, so dashboard and preform when you logged in. Material, okay, buy materials. So can I, does it actually pick up, oh, you just key in the IP address and you don't have to sign into your Formlabs account. So let's just, let me know, what should we do? Should we do just a manual setup, or should we go through the Formlabs account? I guess that could be convenient. But don't see your device. No models loaded. Yeah. Let's see what we have for print files. I guess we can do the good old 3D Benchy. That's not quite a 3D Benchy. I would like a regular 3D Benchy, please. Is that all the 3D Benchies we have? Why is there no... No items match your search? Come on, Windows 11. I was just saying how I like you. 3D Benchy. 3D Benchy.stl. Yep, that looks like a 3D Benchy. What do you do? Account is easier. Okay. So let's sign into our account. So we did Formlabs at toms3d.org. And then I'm gonna type in my very secret password. Ho ho ho. And we signed in. Oh, you can't see that because my face is in the way. So we can click my account and it takes us to the web dashboard, which we were before. But we should now have, your printer has remote print disabled. Why do we have remote print disabled? I don't, and it gives us all the checks. Okay, so let's try this. So what Ultimaker actually does in Cura, which is pretty cool, when you connect your Ultimaker 3 to your Cura setup, is it shows you the materials that are loaded in the printer in Cura, and I guess it auto selects them too, or at least it suggests them. There might be the same thing in here, but what it just gave me is like, hey, you're trying to print with the wrong material, instead of saying, yo, look, this is the stuff you've got loaded. Would you like to use this? So we've got gray loaded. Choose layer thickness, 100 micron. I guess that works. Ooh, or adaptive. Let's do adaptive. Adaptive sounds cool. Choose settings, default or beta. New support structures, easier default. Okay. So models directly on build platform. So yeah, that's a typical. You print it with FDM. You want as much contact area with your build platform, so the model sticks. I guess you don't want it there. Where's our auto button? Let's click one-click print. Let's see what that does. Ooh, that's not how you print the 3D Benchy. That is not how you print the 3D Benchy, but okay, okay. So I guess that's the minima. Huh. That's cool. So that is like completely unsupported bits that it's highlighting and showing you, and it's got a little bit of an X-ray feature, because the wheel here you wouldn't Ooh! I was gonna say the wheel you wouldn't see, but it's auto supporting. Okay, and my computer is starting to check. Look at that! Look at that! Ooh! Look at that support material. Look at that! How rounded over that is. Okay. My laptop is struggling quite a bit. Let me see where are we at? Intel UHD graphics. Yeah, this is like, you can see that the cursor and how much that is lagging behind. Yep, GPU not happy. What are you doing there? So it's like adding text, what the job is called, around the base of the support material. Why? Is there a reason to that? Anyway, I think I should just try it like this, right? This is like the optimal configuration. But what do we have? 10 hours print time. Ooh, that's a lot. That's a lot. So the thing, of course, with laser-based SLA printers like this one is it doesn't have that same scale, or that same economy of scale, where you print something and it doesn't matter how much material is being used per layer, like with a masked LCD print or a masking LCD masked SLA printer, where it's exposing the entire layer at the same time. So you can print a dozen models of the same thing and they're going to take exactly the same time as if you were just printing one. Because we have a laser that, you know, like in a filament-based printer, we have that laser that actually has to, you know, follow the contour of each layer, of each little bits that you're printing, and then fill in everything within that contour. The more you put on a layer, the longer it's going to take. So if you just scale this model not in Z, if you keep the Z height the same, but just scale it in X and Y and make it thinner, basically, it's going to take less time on the Formlabs Form 3, but it's going to take the exact same time on the SL1 or an LV printer or Frozen or any of the other MSLA printers. But yeah, I'm a bit shocked about how long this is actually taking. So 10 hours, I guess that's a quick estimate, and then it can run the full simulation. So typically, I mean, for reference, what a 3D Benchy takes on a filament-based print is like 2 hours, 50 minutes or something along those lines, which is perfect for a test print on a live stream because I can chat with you guys while we do that. I cannot chat with you guys for the next 10 hours and 30 minutes. I'm gonna pass out and fall asleep. So I don't think I should just start a print and stop it there. I think we maybe should do something a bit smaller, perhaps. 20 bucks worth of support material. So we got 32 milliliters that we're using, times 1.5. So that's about 50. What is that? $5? yeah, that's about $5. $5 worth of material that we would be using for this 3D Benchy in, I guess, the optimal orientation. Let's maybe use something a bit smaller. What else do we have? Or you know what? You know what? I'm gonna take a quick bathroom break, and you guys decide what we're gonna do. You guys fight it out in chat whether we're gonna do micro benchy or some small model. But keep in mind, it can't be physically large. We can scale it down. We can make it smaller, but if it's taking up a lot of a layer, it's not like it's gonna be printing fast. So I'm gonna be right back. And you guys decide what we're going to be printing. All right? Be right back. There we go. That was, I hope that microphone was muted. I'm back. So what have we decided on? It looks like we've got 6th scale benchy that a lot of people are requesting. 2 small benchies. Tooth. No. I want to print something that has a bit of detail. So I've seen an Eiffel Tower, which would of course be great because it's not a lot of material per layer. So we could probably print something that's pretty good, that's pretty big. Benchy or a tooth. Flux core. I've done the disclosure at the beginning of this video. I do not get to keep this printer. I do have to send it back in March. The only thing that I get to keep is the prints that I make with it. Okay? I don't care about free printers anymore. I have more than enough printers to print everything that I would ever desire. I have more than enough material. I don't care for another one. I like playing with them. It's my job to play with them. I do it so that I have content to publish, not so that I have a printer to use, right? I don't care about Formlabs. I don't care about this printer. I care about the content that I make with it, okay? So this is just enabling me to make that content or to make some sort of a content, but again, this is zero incentive for me to talk nicely or to talk bad about a machine because they provide it to me for review. I don't know if they reached out or I reached out to them, but you know, it's still an ad. This is just me reacting to a machine, and I'm seeing stuff that I like, and I'm seeing stuff that I find weird, and I'm pointing it out to you guys. That's all there is to it. All right, we are printing something. Let's see what we're printing. Let's see if we can find, I kind of want to print an Eiffel Tower. I've seen that it pop up in chat, so I'm going to try and find an Eiffel Tower model. Not model, what am I doing? What am I, wow, that was fast. So it's with 2 Fs, right? Is that a solid one? No, that has a structure. You guys think that is going to be too hard? Because that is a challenging print. That is an incredibly challenging print, especially this. Oh, how can you? You can't move. You can't pan around. That is a. Ooh, it can do it. Should be fine. It can do it. It can do it. It can do it. Okay, so. These bits down here, these look, I mean, it's got literal bridges in it. Can the printer do bridges? I guess, yeah, I guess it can. Even 3D, yeah, so here's the thing, an FDM printer just pulls a bridge between those spots. The resin printer, I don't know. I kind of want to print this now. Let's see. So let's try this. Let's see what Preform has to say about this. Let's see what it says about the Eiffel Final. First of all, that is rather big. Is that the scale? Oh yeah, that's the scale error. Okay. So let's do like a little bit small on this. It's probably going to complain about, ooh, what is that structure in here? What's going on there? Unsupported minima? Honestly, I don't see them. But otherwise, actually, everything down here it says is fine. 4 hours print time. Let's go smaller. So we've got an 85 micron laser dot size. Non-manifold. 0.16 milliliters. That doesn't sound right. So let's see, we should have, do we get a preview? No, is that an actual, oh yeah, it is actually an actual path preview, it looks like. So if you go here, you can actually see the infill lines that it's going to do. So that is already taken into account the laser spot size, and it looks like it can actually, it can do that pretty well. So like these are all just one contour, and over here it does two. Turn off adaptive, printed original scale, we're not going to have the time for that. So if we go over to non-adaptive, but we go to 100 microns, which should be fairly fast. What are we? 3 hours print time. 143. That's still... And can that be correct? 0.16 milliliters? That can't be. It does bridge really well. If we go even smaller. So this is the 145 millimeter build area. Oh no, oh no. Oh no, I've rotated it. Oh crap, can I undo? Reset? Okay. Size, how can I move this? Okay, just drag it around. So let's move it towards the front. Like right there. What slicer is this? This is their own preform that they're supplying. And it is made specifically for the Formlabs machines. This is tiny. I don't think this is going to complete, to be honest. So, oh, it's got like two per. Now, you know what? I'm going to do a small 3D bench. I think that's the perhaps the more reasonable choice. So let's move you towards the front. Let's scale you. Do we get a scale? Yes. So if we do a 0.2, no, 0.2, scale 3D benchy, we should be fairly fast. We're under an hour. I like that. And the only warning that we're getting is model directly on build plate. So that I can live with. Using supports to elevate them is recommended. I just want to see what's going to happen. So what do? I keep looking for a send to printer button down here, but it's actually over here. Let's see what we get. So there's our print lines. All good, all good, all good. Okay. So basically send to printer. We've got the correct resin loaded, but remote print is disabled. Okay, let's see how we can enable that. Uploaded job to, do we have to hit prime? That's the only thing I can think of right now. Connectivity, remote printing. Remote printing disabled. Allows you to print on the go by uploading jobs through dashboard to your printer. So this, I believe this doesn't have to be on the same network even. This could be like you've got your printer at work and you want to start a print from home or something. The option to consenting to sharing part print files with Formlabs subject to term part print file privacy policy. So I'm guessing that is just to allow them to process the files so that they can actually send it to your printer. This is not like, hey, they're going to look at your files and use them for whatever purpose. I guess. Remote printing is now enabled. Your printer is will now be transferred to the cloud. Okay, so yeah, it is true remote printing. Okay, so let's see, does this update? Remote print is disabled. Oh, okay, so now we get the dashboard in the in Preform itself. But did it update? Remote print is disabled. I guess if we turn it off and turn it on again. I'm gonna turn the printer off. How do I turn this off? Do I have to shut this down? I don't think so, right? System. Ah, we can reboot it. Okay, up. So maybe that's gonna get it to reconnect, and it could look properly. It might show up properly in the reselect from dropdown. Ah, okay. So what I did was basically here. No. Reselect from dropdown. Go in here and then do select, and it's still disabled. So I'm just going to wait for it to finish rebooting, and hopefully that's going to show up correctly then. Because then it does the reconnect on Wi-Fi and all that. So that just showed up. It's got the cartridge and the tank. Come on. It does boot up for quite a while. Nanner is asking, so is the Formlabs 3 any faster? So from what I've read, the Form 3 is actually slower than the Form 2, because it's got a smaller laser dot size, which means it prints more precisely, but it's also slower. It is like having a filament-based printer that has a smaller nozzle, essentially. So let's see, are you showing up correctly? Yes, okay. So job name 3D Benchy, we've got that. About 58 minutes is our estimate. Gravy 4, models directly on build platform, whatever. Printer's tank is unused. This tank will be programmed to the resin type with which it is used for the first time. You can always reprogram your tank after cleaning it. Okay, so you have to... So you can use them with a different resin, but you have to, say, clean it. But why can it not upload? Do I have to... No? Why is it not letting me upload? Reselect it? Select. USB goes faster. Maybe needs a firmware update. So I mean, what we can do is we can prime the printer, so at least it's going to clear that and that. So let's do that. Let's do that on the printer and see if that changes anything. So it has the prime button. Prime mode allows you to start printing remotely by completing pre-print checks ahead of time. Okay. Open the vent cap. We did that. Priming printer. So it's moving around. It's doing something. Oh, your printer is now primed. So what I was expecting is that it would load resin into the vat or something, but nah, that's not what priming does. So it's just pre-flight check. So when you send stuff from Preform, you don't have to confirm it on the printer. But it doesn't update here. So if we reselect it here, doesn't update it. Come on. What do we do? Maybe needs firmware update first. Oh. Oh, okay, so it detected that it's primed now, but I still can't upload job. Do I have to actually disable this? So let's see what happens if we add supports to this. Is it gonna let us print then? Ooh, that's a lot of supports. That's probably doubling print time. 114, okay, that's not too bad. Oh, now we can do it. Okay, so it's not actually letting us upload if it says, oh yeah, what you're doing is suboptimal. Okay, so these supports look, yeah, it's not going to be a very flat bottom, but we can try. We can try. This is what it's saying it should do. So it's got some resin. No, what is that? That looks like it's yeah, drainage holes or something. But it's weird that this chunk of support is only adding 14 minutes of print time, or 15 minutes or something. Is that hollow? Nah, it shouldn't be, right? It's actually solid. Huh! Okay, but at least it's letting us print, so yeah. Let's try. So unused, it's gonna register that resin, that type of resin. And upload. And I guess this should do something. So uploading, I guess that goes to the Formlabs servers. Remote job uploaded successfully. It will not start automatically because the build plate or the VAT is unused. Has been uploaded into the printer's queues. So I guess we're gonna have to find the printer queue. I guess that looks like a queue. Ah, so the printer just downloaded that from Formlabs and is now trying to start the print, I guess. I think I did miss a super chat tip though, from Evil Notion, 20 bucks. Thank you for that. I believe from Take It EV as well. That was 2 hours ago. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for missing that, but thank you. Eric, yeah, first layer times are always slower. Okay. Optimal orientation, sure, but the thing is, you know, the 3D Benchy, you kind of have to print in that orientation or it's not a 3D Benchy again anymore. It does have the geometry specifically so that it is a challenging print. And if you tilt it, like it's not valid anymore. I guess if you scale it, it's also not a valid 3D Benchy anymore, but yeah. So what can we do? We can track print online because the printer is still checking optics, so I guess it's doing something. It's calibrating something internally. Printing 1 hour 14 remaining. Printing. So it's wiping its optics under the, or it's a peeler. I don't know exactly what it is. Underneath the platform there. And unfortunately, once, yeah, you can kind of see it move there. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to see the laser dot doing its thing on the platform because, well, obviously, print platform is going to move down onto it. So that's going to be covered just like with an MSLA printer. You can make the support shorter, sure, 3D Bruno. We can play with the settings a bit while it's printing, and we can see what Formlabs can do. But right now, I just want to get a print started so that something's happening, or we're going to be waiting for this print to finish forever. No wiper between layers on the Form 3. Okay, resin mixer. Right, so that thing has moved out. We've clicked that in somewhere else. I'm gonna have to figure out a better perspective. I think I might be able to raise that camera a bit further. Or I'm just gonna grab a different tripod and maybe let's put you on the A-cam so you don't get seasick. Oh yeah, oh yeah, wow. That's a lot better for his perspective. Now, somebody was saying I've got a great macro lens. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to use that because, like I said, these are all Sony ZV-1s now, and I can't exactly change lenses on them. So that's the resin stir. And we need to lock down this tripod a bit more. Come on. Come on. Come on. Is that better? Yeah, that looks like it's locked down. So what are you doing? Filling tank with gray V4 resin. I guess we should see some resin come out back there, back here, out of our resin inlet at some point, perhaps. Zills, we can do Q&A in a bit once the printer's going. So web interface is still saying printing 1 hour 14 remaining. Maybe let's refresh here. 114, 0% because it's still filling tank with resin. Just it will take forever to fill, just pour it in. Well, I don't know, I want to do it properly. You can fill the vats directly, but it won't consume the material in preform dashboard. So the okay, so basically, I guess the mechanism to take material from the resin cartridge and put it in the vat, that's only made to top up during print. And if you fill it, that's what I'm understanding from chat here. And if you actually pour it out of the resin cartridge directly, it's going to recognize that there's resin in there because it has the fill sensor. Okay, so it doesn't. Yeah, I'm thinking how the resin consumption level monitoring works. Because what we've got, do we have the stats for the printer here? Printers, gray V4, yeah. So resin level full, I guess resin used 0. So I guess the resin used isn't like based on how much resin it has pumped or let out of the cartridge. It's actually how much each print it's been doing is consuming or is supposed to be consuming. So it's wiping again. Why are you wiping again? Why is there no resin coming out? So it's literally, it is still 100% bone dry. So that back there, and that's where the resin, I guess, is supposed to come out, but it's not. It works, but it takes forever. So left side of the tray, there is a sensor that's just gonna float up. Camera, you having a good time? Yeah, the camera's having a great time. And just to double check, I did, in fact, open up the bleed valve or whatever that's called, the vacuum release. That is 100% open. Wiper's wiping. The wiper's like expecting something to happen, but it's just wiping a dry vat. The bottom one, yeah, so the bottom one's opened. That was that orange flapperoni thing that they get to pull out. And it specifically said to leave the rubber cap on. So, yeah, the rubber thing is still on, and I assume that's how it's supposed to be. There's nothing coming out. It feels, oh yeah, it is definitely warm in here. So there's something heating. Is there any heat at the cartridge? If I wiggle the cartridge, you think it's gonna help? There is a light back here that you might be able to see just barely. This thing glows. This thing lights up. I don't know what that's supposed to be indicating, but it lights up. Should I pull the cartridge? I'm gonna pull out the cartridge. Do I have to? So, hold on. Before we spill resin everywhere here, let me close the bleed valve. Don't think it should. Anything. So there is a rubber thing on the bottom here. Oh, it's still trying to fill even though I've pulled the cartridge. That's interesting. So that is that rubber thing down there, which I don't want to touch. And I don't want to poke it because that's going to get resin coming out, right? If that is pushing down hard, pushing down a couple times, letting it insert, and then I'm going to open the top cap again. And perhaps that's going to help. I don't know. You may need to open it. Well, I'm going to grab the other resin cartridge and I'm just going to have a look at one that's still kind of sealed. The vent is closed. Yeah, the vent is now open. Here is that other cartridge we still have. The vent is closed. The vent is not closed. That's closed. That is open. So it's about, so printer is saying it's, oh, that's sticky. Ah, crap, wire is sticky. Be right back. I'm gonna wash my hands now because this other cartridge is sticky on the side and it feels like that's resin. Give me 1 second. Should have worn gloves. Told you I should have worn gloves. Alrighty, have you guys been keeping a look or an eye on the printer? Do we have resin yet? Is that resin? Nope. That is still very dry. I hope it doesn't bump it now. Do I see resin? I see, oh yeah, there's resin! There is resin! There is, in fact, some resin. The rubber is still closed. But if the rubber is still intact, like how is there gray sticky stuff coming out? Where is the gray sticky stuff? There it is, kind of. I'm gonna open the lid, it's probably gonna complain. But that back there, that is definitely resin seeping in at a... Oh, you can actually see it pouring in. That is pouring in at a snail's pace. That's going to take hours. If I close the cap, it's probably not going to do anything. Yeah, we don't have time for that. Wow. It squeezes the nozzle below the gray rubber to extract resin. Okay. Ah, there's you guys. Hey! Huh. You need to fully cut the bite valve. So before I do anything stupid, let's just check what the official, I mean, this is a professional machine, right? There's got to be a help section. Let's just see what there, it can't be. So you guys apparently have run into this issue. Let's just try and figure out whether this is something that Formlabs maybe are addressing somewhere. So where do you get to help? Support articles. Choosing the right material. No, I that's not what I want, but resin flow, resin cartridge maintenance and storage. What is this? Moving resin, remove the cartridge, close the vent cap, remove ID chip. Yeah. Inspecting the bite valve. Okay. The bite valve is located on the underside of the resin cart. When the printer's resin dispensing system indicates that the resin needs to be dispensed, the cartridge dispense arm squeezes the bite valve. Okay, so it has like a little slit in the middle to allow resin to flow into the resin tank. Inspect the bite valve. If the damaged loose missing, stop using the resin cartridge immediately. With a damaged bite valve can cause resin spills which can damage the printer. To open a sealed bite valve, close the vent cap. Remove the resin cartridge from the printer, turn the cartridge upside down to inspect the bite valve. Squeeze the valve a few times to open the seal and enable resin flow. So we're gonna try that with the rounded corner of a plastic spatula or similar object. If it remains closed, contact Formlabs support. So there we go. There's the exact help article that we need. Is the vent cap fully open? Yes, it is fully open. Absolutely. So let's do this. So we close the vent cap. We pull out the resin cartridge. We flip over. So there is resin coming out, definitely. So that is a bit of resin that's coming out. And yeah, it appears that it is fully opening. So there is our bite valve, and it is definitely opening. That is very much a slit where stuff is coming out, and it feels like it's a bit warm, at least down here, but the entire resin tank is still somewhat cold. But yeah, that's an opening for sure. So let's just drop this back in and hope we get some more resin out of this. So I guess with what who was it that opened the valve? Shut up, it's open. I don't know who it was in chat that pointed it out, but you can pre-fill the resin vat with resin, and And basically that amount of resin that you put in there is not going to be subtracted from the amount you use out of the cartridge. So could you use a third-party resin to just pre-fill the vat and save on expensive Formlabs resin that way? If you just pour it in directly? Just a thought. So resin is still pouring in, but rather slow. Oh, it stopped. So back there. That's all the zoom we got. Let's just zoom in a bit more. That's where we should get some resin. Come on. Oh, can you like not autofocus on the TV, maybe? Okay, we've got more resin coming out. How full does it have to get this? I mean, how long are we going to be waiting here? Because right now, if I open the lid real quick, right now we've got like one corner of resin. So is it going to try to fill it like up to here? That would take all night. Never bite the bite valve. Yeah, don't do that. So what I could try is actually just take the other one. Take the other resin cartridge because it is the same gray V4. Though how does it keep track of the resin that's loaded into the tank but not used? Try pressing down on the cartridge. Okay, that I can try. It's like slowly coming out. Still the same, mostly. So back there is where it's trying to fill. And that doesn't change much. So I'm going to try this other one and shake that up. Shake the inserter cartridge while it's... So this one's actually making a shaking sound. The other one was like so full, I think, that there wasn't much to shake, but that's not great for my shoulder, but ow. Okay, that's all I've got. That's all I've got. Okay, so I guess I can just swap it while it's doing its thing, right? So let's try the other one. Maybe that's better because at that speed, we're not getting a printout today. I can tell you that much. That's closed. That pulls out, and I guess we store it like this, with the vent and the bleed valve. Oh no, that's gonna drip directly onto. That's gonna drip directly onto the sensor. So or the chip. So I guess store it like this. We're gonna have to read the article on that. So yeah, let's try the other cartridge, and There is our bleed valve right there. Same thing, opens up. That looks good. Maybe that felt a bit sticky, but so gray V4 cartridge inserted, and we open up the bleed valve. And do we get resin out of this one? So right there. But so far it's not looking like this one's doing so much better. And yes, the bleed valve is open. It should be throwing errors when you remove it. Is that a drip? So I'm gonna wait one more cycle when it does the wipe, because I think at that point it stops pressing the bleed valve and it starts again. And if that doesn't work, I'm gonna put the old cartridge back in and or pouring manually. I guess that's our last chance of getting anything printing tonight, because this is literally gonna take all night to fill. And we get nothing. Okay. So same thing as last time, close the bleed valve, take it out. Now I do not, so what I was saying before, if I actually take it out like this and store it on that side, the bleed valve is going to drip right onto the contacts for the cartridge chip. So that's going to mess up contact here. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to store it basically right side up. And then, did it drip? No, it did not. So I guess what we can do, abort print. You should sure you want to abort, yes. Yeah, I guess what we need to do is actually try and manually get some resin out of this thing. So how am I going to do this without making a huge mess? So I guess like that. So that could work. Then I can squeeze like this. Yeah, that should work. So open bleed valve, press here. Yeah, first of all, that resin is like super thick. It's super viscous. Like look at how that, you can't see that, sorry. Maybe if I do it over there. That is very thick resin. Now that's, okay, I'm at least gonna rest my arm there. Pour it from the top. You can unscrew the valve cap. Well, okay, that might work too. Do I have something to wipe this off? Give me 1 second to find at least like a paper towel. Why do I not have paper towels? Oh, I do. I do, they were just out of reach. That's the side the resin's supposed to come out, right? So you go trash. So basically we can, I'm gonna have to wipe everything down with ethanol once I'm done here. I can unscrew the bleed cap, okay. Yes, I can. Oh, that was easy. That was easy enough. So basically just pour this out. This is pretty full. That. How full do I want this? Like that? More? Less? Not so much? Okay. I mean, it looks like the correct amount for printing. 3 millimeters? Ah, it was a bit more than 3 millimeters. Let's see if it complains. Okay. The bed displaces a lot of resin, yeah, but the walls of the tank are pretty tall up, so could be fine, should be fine. I don't know. Let's just see. This isn't how we're off the path of this is how you're supposed to do it already, so yeah. Okay, I'm gonna swap gloves, at least take these off. And I have some ethanol here, I think so. So I can at least wipe down my tripod. So if we print you, it should, vent cap is open. Handle is locked down to secure. Yes, we did that. So at least now it should check whether it has enough resin, right? Should be enough for a micro benchy? Well, yeah. Okay. Third-party resin usable, I guess only for pre-filling the vat, but not for actually printing with, because the cartridges are chipped, and I doubt they would allow you to just refill them, or well, I don't know if there are third-party cartridges that third-party manufacturers make for the Form 3. I don't think that exists. I don't know. You guys probably know better in chat. There is hackable cartridges? Okay. Das Frodo, because I just had it in my hand, is asking about which alcohol to use for cleaning resin. So I'm just using ethanol. German is called Brennspiritus, which is basically denatured alcohol. Yeah. That's what I use. Works, in my experience, works just as well as IPA, isopropanol or isopropyl alcohol. But you can get it for $2 a bottle in any supermarket. And it works great. So let's see if it's, yeah, we're at filling. Okay, it's wiping. You guys saw how much resin that wiper displaced, right? Are you still trying to fill? You're still trying to fill. Okay, it just started filling again. So you guys were saying 3 millimeters. Now you see the sensor back there. Where's the? Oh, that thing back there. That like in the reflection, like right there, right there. Let's just open this up. So that thing back there, I guess, is the sensor. I don't want to reach in here. So I guess. Actually, one thing One thing I have to say is the resin doesn't smell much. Either I've lost smell and I can't smell it anymore, but oh yeah, I should maybe get my glass of water out of here too. Or this resin is low odor, but it definitely smells a lot less than some of the other resins. So it is still trying to fill. It's telling me to close the cover, but it's still doing its thing. Guess it still needs more. So let's give it some more resin then. Filling? Okay. Still trying to fill. So I'm gonna give it another wipe cycle and see what it does. While we do that, I'm gonna have another. Do I have any resin on my gloves? I do not. I'm gonna give the Formlabs help system another go and see what comes up for filling. Filling a powder cartridge. Nope. Yo, that should be full. That almost spilled over. You guys saw that? You guys saw how far that came up here? Yeah, I don't think we need more resin. I think we're good. Why is it not stopping to fill? Okay, quicker wipe. Ah. Yeah, that is definitely full enough. Okay. I'm glad it's working. I'm glad it's recognized that it's got enough resin. That's good. So what are we doing? Still looks a bit bubbly because typically when it's dispensing resin out of the resin dispensing system, I don't think there are any bubbles left. But of course, if you pour it directly out of a shook bottle, it's gonna have some bubbles. Is this gonna be too full now? Got my hand on the power plug that I'm ready to yank. Well, actually, I think it would be quicker to yank this one. Slowly wiping now. Wait until the plate comes down. Yeah, got my hands on the power plug. And if the resin level rises up too much, this thing is coming out. Okay, that is shifting around. Interesting. Less reflection. Well, it's a glossy reflective plastic cover. I can't do anything about the reflection. Sorry. So are you going to print or what? Ah, that went down fast. Okay. Okay, we're good. We're good. What are you reflecting? You're reflecting that lamp back there. Maybe like that? Is that better? But then the angle is off. do the other side. You guys are going to see the screen and all. It's just a reflective cover. I guess that's good too. Like that, I can show you the screen at the same time. Okay, we're printing. That was easy enough. Dim the studio lights? Well, you know, if you dim the lights, then sure, the reflection is going to get dimmer, but the thing we want to see is also going to get dimmer. So like that, I don't think that's gonna work exactly as you think it would. Okay. Whew. Now it's not level anymore. Well, I don't care if it's level anymore. Yeah, well, thanks for the studio setup tips, everyone. Tweet at me like how you guys have your studio set up, and maybe I can get some inspiration. And how you handle having 1, 2, 3, 4 cameras that have 0 reflections. I'd like to see how you guys do that. Yeah, so I guess once the vat is actually full, it is faster. Wow, that bed is jolting up pretty well. How's the off-gassing on the printer? So, like I said before, I don't smell anything of the resin. I don't smell that there's like anything coming off the resin. The other typical printers that you use are definitely worse in that regard. Though I've seen in chat that the flexible resin that Formlabs has apparently is a lot worse when it comes to how it smells. What is it doing? So the bed is up and it's wiping and it's doing stuff, but it's not curing, is it? No, because the platform is out. How harmful are the resin fumes? I do not know, unfortunately. So I think there is some there's some processing going on my microphone, which means you guys don't hear the full picture of how the printer sounds. I'm just looking at the levels and I'm seeing that the only time you're really hearing something is when I say something. So let me see if I can turn off noise reduction filters here. So get ready, 3, 2, 1. That's noise reduction off. So this is basically naturally how you would hear stuff. So there's a fan going in the printer. It is not, so the way the fan sounds, not bad. It's just a consistent hum. Other printers like the Mars 2 Pro that I've been using for a project recently, it's a lot noisier and it's always on. It's a less pleasant sound profile. You can hear the Z-axis. You can hear stuff moving around underneath. It sounds, so it doesn't sing like an FDM printer does, but it does have its noise profile. So I'm going to shut up for a second and I'm just going to let you listen to the printer and what it sounds like. To be honest, I don't know. I have no idea what it's doing right now. So, build plate is out. It's like it's just waiting. It's not exposing anything, I think, because it's not, the build plate is not in contact with the film. I don't know what it's doing right there. Yeah, so Sam Bishop was asking, is it meant to get so foamy? So the foaminess is simply because no, hold on. What am I doing with my OBS? The foaminess that you're seeing is only because I actually poured the resin straight out of the bottle and didn't use the fill system. So I shook up the bottle, of course, and there's still some foam in there, and I poured it out of there, which means you get a lot of bubbliness and foam with it, which may and probably will impact the final print result that we're getting. So typically when you just let the printer do the filling, there's not going to be any foam with this. Guy Fallon, does it have a laser? Yes, that's the point. It is not a masked LCD printer. It is a laser-based SLA printer. So basically, it's working kind of like an FDM printer where it's actually using a laser from underneath, and my finger's the laser right now, and actually moving around the build plate and kind of exposing that one line at a time instead of doing the entire thing as one go. So that means you don't have pixels per se. You don't have like it looks like it's going faster now. It doesn't have pixels per se. Everything is a vector, so it should be able to follow contours really well. But of course, it is slower than an MSLA printer, and the more you fill up the build plate, the more you use on each layer, the slower each layer is going to go. Is a laser more precise than LCD? That's hard to say. So an LCD printer with sufficient resolution, and for me I think sufficient resolution like 1440p and up, is at that point where you're not going to see the pixels. 1440p being said for like a typical 6-inch screen as you have on like the smaller printers like a Mars. On a larger printer like a Saturn or the Jupiter, Elegoo's newest largish format printer, you do need those extra pixels. So it really depends on the size. It doesn't follow contours like the Form 2 does? Huh. Jeffrey, that's interesting. So how does it work? How does it control the laser beam? Because for me, the logical thing is like, it's got galvos. So basically, what do you have on an FDM printer? Ta-da, FDM printer, is you have motors that directly move around the tool head, and you know, wherever the tool head is, stuff comes out. In this case, molten filament, plastic. In the case of a laser printer, the laser beam that cures the resin. But the way that a laser beam is typically being manipulated is not by moving around the actual laser diode, but by having a mirror system that kind of reflects the light. So that it goes there. If it's flatter, it goes over there. And if it's steeper, it goes, you know how a mirror works, right? I don't have to explain that. And that allows a laser beam to jump around really fast because those mirrors are typically really small and you can control them really fast. And that is typically, you know, how that stuff works. What you see on cheap laser cutters is just a mirror system where you actually move the mirror around, which is at a fast angle, which also works. But, so it's line scanning like a CRT, Michael is saying. Raster scan, okay. Huh. I'm gonna have to look into that, because if It can't be line scanning because what we're seeing is on preform. If you go in here, what we're actually seeing is that it is in fact following contours. So basically what you have is you get two shells, you know, outer contour, inner contour, and then you get infill. You get lines, right? That is exactly like an FDM printer. So it is very much following the contour here. If it was just line scanning, you would get like a sharp stop and then a start and another sharp stop here. And I don't think it's doing that. It is making some noise, so it is moving something around in there. But yeah, that is... What is that shadow? Is that some Windows 11 bug? But yeah, it is at least the software suggesting that it is following some sort of a contour. So I'm gonna have to dig into that. Yeah, laser carriage would be very slow. The light box slowly move around. The thing is, if you're actually moving the laser around mechanically, would it be able to print at any sort of reasonable speed? Because what we have here, if you're comparing it to an FDM printer, is essentially a 0.085 micron nozzle. So you would need to move it around quite fast. If you're physically moving around the laser, you would need to move that around quite fast to get any sort of reasonable printing speed. Music Dad is asking, does LCD and laser use the same resin? They are similar because they work in similar wavelengths, but there are specific resins for each one. So I know Suriatech, who have been sponsoring the channel for a while, they make, I don't know if they make both specific kinds, but they definitely have a resin that is optimized for masked LCD printers. And I believe they may also have a resin that is optimized specifically for laser SLA printers like this one. Though you wouldn't be able to use it in the Form 3, so yeah. Time estimate is way off. This isn't going to take an hour. Well, we're like an hour into this print, and it's supposed to be a bit over an hour, and we've got 42 minutes left. So I don't know. So this is for this exact print, and 1 hour 14. Can we re-estimate this? And this is the accurate time, I guess. So if you first slice something, it gives you a rough estimate, and then you click it, and I guess it does a simulation. This is that simulation. How is the smell? Smells good. Oh, the smell is good. It doesn't smell. That's what I'm trying to say. It doesn't smell like roses and pleasant stuff. It just doesn't have a stingy smell into it specifically, or to it specifically. Resins for laser-based printers have a higher activation energy, Eric's saying. Okay. So yeah, what I was noticing with the resin being quite thick and viscous is, you know, the way I understand how that relates with resin properties is the more polymer, or the longer polymer chains you put into the resin, the thicker it's going to get, because you're closer, air quotes here, you're closer to what your finished part is going to be. But that is also going to be a more viscous material, yes, but it's also going to give you stronger parts if you put more of the polymer into your resin. If you use more monomer in the mix, it's going to be a less viscous, a thinner and easier flowing material, but your parts are going to be more brittle in the end. So it's always a compromise of how easy is it to use, what sort of peel forces do you get, like that move up that's something that has a lot of suction when like your gap is very thin between your bed and your release film. So it is a compromise in either case. Wow, Scott's having a bad time with the estimated times. 1 hour print takes about 8 hours for him. That doesn't sound right. The Bucksteinbeck is asking, hey, will I do another stream in the near future? On Twitter was announcing that I have some more stuff to unbox. Yes, so I have a Snapmaker 250. There's some letters in front or back, but a Snapmaker 250, which is a printer that can convert from a FDM, so filament-based printing, to a CNC platform to a laser platform. I told them, hey, I don't want the laser. Doesn't have, well, they do actually have an enclosure, so yeah. But I don't want the laser, don't care for it. I have no interest in shooting my eyes out. But they did send the printer itself, so the filament version. They did send the CNC add-on, and they also sent the rotary axis add-on. So you get a fourth rotary axis on the printer. So that could be pretty interesting. Though I don't know how much of that I'm going to be able to figure out on a live stream. So that's one that's coming. And I've also got the Mycosini 2.0 coming. So the Mycosini was a printer that I unboxed a while ago here. Never did a review on. So that's a chocolate printer, prints fondant, and it was a weird little machine that popped itself apart during the stream, and yeah, we had like 1 or 2 successful prints, but it was starting to fall apart by the end of the stream. And yeah, I sent that one back, and they've now got a new one. They've got the Mycosini 2.0. So that should be here next week. So yeah, there are a few more streams coming up, for sure. Just trying to feel how warm the machine is getting, but there's definitely, so this front section is definitely a lot warmer than the rest of the printer. So I guess there's like some heating coming off. There might be like I gotta check if there's like an air vent to go, reading chat at the same time. I gotta check if there's like an air vent coming up here. Yeah, and the back side of where the resin valve or the resin fill port is, that also feels like it is getting warm. I should get the FLIR, but that is upstairs. Also, I still have no idea what that light is doing. So this area right here is not just white, it's actually lighting up, it's glowing. So is that like a resin indicator or something? So I can check the quick start guide. Status light. Okay, actually says that thing up there is the status light. There. And that is also status light. So the Formlabs logo right there, as I guessed. "30 minutes left." Yeah, it feels like it's going faster than what the printer is saying. Opposite to the resin fill side, you can see an air vent, which is for the hot air. Oh, okay. Yeah, you can actually see that. You can see it behind the latch, right there. That's, I guess, where the hot air is actually coming out. Oh, camera, come on. You can do it. The light is basically a look across the room if anything needs attention lamp for the wall. Yeah, but it's on the, it's like physically I can't see it from here. It's like physically on the back of the printer. So I guess if it illuminates like the wall behind it, you can kind of make it out, but like I literally can't see it. The only thing I can see is the Formlabs logo in the front. I guess that I hope I'm not going to run into errors, but it would be nice to see this thing glow in like red or something. I hope I won't have to see it, but yeah. Kind of item here, we did do the Flappy Bird Easter egg on the screen. Was one of the first things we did before we even started printing anything on here. There's somebody posted on Twitter already. And I guess if you can, does YouTube let you do that far on the live stream? How far can you jump back on a stream? We should have live DVR on, but this stream is now 4K, so it might have some different rules for that. Yeah, but while that's printing, like how are you liking the new camera setup? So we've now got the Sony a7S III in the main camera spot. That used to be Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K. So that's now the a7S III. So that has autofocus. I can move in closer to the camera and it should focus on my face. It does. And I can move back here and it's still going to focus on my face. That's great. B camera, Sony ZV-1. Top camera, Sony ZV-1. Side camera for the screen cap, Sony ZV-1. Camera that's just chilling in the background, Sony ZV-1. So I like these. I got these for like $450 each. For that they're like super unbeatable. They're basically RX 100 Mark Vs with a flip screen. And then you get like the little small rig cage, so you can actually open up the battery flap while you have a tripod plate attached. And I got the HDMI adapter, so I'm just using those into a capture card, and they're working great. Great little cameras. Much better than the hodgepodge of different cameras stuff that I had before. Yeah, that Foxabilla, thanks for the thanks for liking my old camera setup. But the thing with that was it was just complicated. It was 3 different camera types, and I had to match them in color, and only one did autofocus, and I had to move cameras around. So the B camera, the angle you're seeing right now, that used to be my a7S III, and then when I recorded a regular video, I would move it back to that position. It's just a lot easier. Everything is set up. It stays as is, and I can start a live stream without having to tear apart the entire studio. That's what's important for me with this switchover. And Joel, yeah, no more Lumix. I'm selling all my Micro Four Thirds stuff on eBay. So I'm German eBay, Tom's 3DP. If anyone wants like a GH5 or a Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera or some lenses for Micro Four Thirds, I am selling that right now. Maybe I can chuck a link in chat if anyone's interested. There we go, chat. There we go. That should work. If anyone wants some used cameras, they're all in great shape. Is this still going on in the Decklink Threadripper Monster PC? Yes. It's not a Monster PC, it's the smallest Threadripper that ever existed. It's just the 8-core, but just PCIe lanes and HDMI capture cards. Works great. Yeah, circular polarizers should fix the reflections. Do I have one at hand? I don't think I do. I might have an ND or something, but I don't think I have a polarizer here. Nah, don't even have an ND. Putting NDs on the ZV1s isn't going to be easy because they literally don't have. There's one. They don't have a thread, you know, so you'd have to do like a sticky back thing or something. Plus, yeah, it's going to make LCDs hard to read, and it's going to cut down reflections where there need to be reflections. So, you know, a circular polarizer, I don't know how those work. Well, I don't know. I don't know physics, but yeah, might have some unintended side effects. Yeah, I guess to close out cameras, Joe, glad you're happy with the GX7. I don't think I ever recommended the GX7. I recommended the G7, G70 in Germany. It's a great little camera. For what it does, it's fantastic little setup. Time has moved on and there are better alternatives now, but I really like those cameras. G7, I just sold that to a friend. Great camera, absolutely. And yeah, contrast detection, autofocus, I think is the biggest turn down for me for that, because it never quite works as well as you'd want. And yeah, 10-bit, who was asking 10-bit? Somebody was asking about 10-bit and output. Yes, so if you shoot in a flat log profile and you grade your stuff, you definitely need 10-bit. However, for live streaming, I'm just checking these into an HDMI output, 8-bit is absolutely okay. I do some minor color correction on this, but 8-bit signal, totally fine for that. Does the eBay link not work? Ah, thanks, Foxabilla. Hit the pause button. That's a good idea. Magical Donut, I shall hit the pause button. But it doesn't lift. It doesn't lift. It doesn't lift. That's a bummer. Why does it not lift the VAT? I guess I could. Nah, I could remove the VAT, but it doesn't move up. Which printers don't do that? Some of the printers lift the VAT, some don't. I guess I could take a quick peek underneath as it rips the bed up and just see if I see anything there. Yes, there's something there. It is printing. So what I'm wondering is, how does this thing level its build plate? Because typically you have that entire locking mechanism that basically allows the build plate to swivel around, and then you press it against your LCD on a masking LCD printer, and then you lock it down, and it's kind of like, how do you adjust the offset? There's nothing like that on here. Like there's no. I took it out of the box, I put in the build plate, and it worked. It stuck. There's no adjusting. So I'm wondering, like, with that flexible FEP film on the underside of the resin vat, does it... So with... I'm trying to make sense of this here. So The thing we saw moving around underneath the bed from the underside, that presses up against the, I'm going to keep calling it FEP film because that's what it is on other printers, against the release film. Does that actually do some sort of leveling? Is that also mounted with some movement in the z-axis? So basically, if that is what the laser comes out of, and it's like this lip thing that presses against the underside of the release film, does it press against one side, adjust itself, go over to the other side, adjust itself, and then basically ride along that contour that it measured as it moves left and right to emit the laser from it? Is that what it is? So, because it can't just be spring loaded, because then the first layer would be good, but everything after that is just is off because it's spring loaded. That is, well, let's see what the experts say in chat. Black magic. Yeah. Maybe it receives some laser light back and uses that to offset things like auto bed leveling. Magnets. I don't think magnet is like precise enough for that. Stresses the film over the plate and then the wiper pulls it away. Yeah, but the other way, the wiper presses the film up and the film is basically, it's at a low position, then the wiper comes in from underneath and it pushes the film up. You level the machine, yeah. Maintenance menu. Okay, I gotta check that. Can we go into maintenance here? Printer leveling, yeah, but that's like, that's the printer itself. Like that is physically, did I swipe? That's like physically leveling the entire printer, not the, I'm talking about the platform relative to the release film. It just does a thick layer and goes from there? Okay. First layer. Okay. Sounds easy enough. I guess maybe laser has an easier time doing that. The resistance of it while scraping is measured by the light processing unit moving the mixer. Huh? No LCD to break, so it's got some play. I don't know. Can you use the laser to detect distance? I don't think that's doing it. Yeah, Merc, sorry I'm calling this leveling. That's just what everyone's calling it. But it's tramming, technically. It's aligning. Well, tramming also implies that you're like aligning the individual axes to be 90 degrees of each other, right? But yeah, it is de facto making sure that the axes are parallel of all the moving parts, and that yeah, basically that's it. You want to make sure that your exposure plane is parallel to the exposure plane of, or the plane of the other side of the bed. Okay, so with the print almost finished, so we've got 3 minutes technically. I kind of forgot to unbox the finishing kit, so we need to do that. I don't know what's going to be in there, and I hope I can move this printer, but we're almost done. So if it fails, it's no big deal. Finish. It's actually the finish kit. Oh, it is the full thing. Looks like 2 trash cans. It is probably two trash cans. Okay. So you go there. Finish kit overview. The finish kit. Provides helpful tools for finishing your prints. Included in the kit, rinse station. So that's not a rinse station. Basically, you get this thing. Wow, there's a lot of stuff in here. Okay, so you get that. Basically, manual rinsing. You get a microfiber cloth. I don't know how useful that is for cleaning prints. Set of gloves. That is nitrile gloves. That is good. So the correct type of gloves. You get two things that I don't know what they are. What are they? They are tank tools. Remove cured resin from the resin tank. Separate tool for spatula function or combined for tongs. Oh, so you get... I have to cut this open? No. That is a very interesting tool. So I guess you can pick out parts from the vat if you've got little bits of cured resin or cured parts in there, and then you can separate it, and you can use it kind of like a slicer. Okay. Peg pad, non-abrasive wipes. 10 wipes for use on critical surfaces without scratching when used with Eclipse Optic Cleaner. What do you use these for? What do you use these for? These aren't listed in the overview. Also included, okay. Clean delicate optical surfaces such as the optical window. What's the optical window, the thing for the laser? I'm gonna let this drip a bit because the print is done. The print is dangling right there. No Windows, I don't want you to restart right now. It's a bad time, okay? The print is there, but it's still full of resin, so we're gonna let that drip off a bit and take a look at the resin kit in a bit. So, remove printed parts. Attach the platform to the jig. So you get the jigadoodle. That's interesting. So I guess you can stand it up like that, but you can also stand it up like that. So depending on how you orient it, that's where the your print platform goes into. Either you have it flat or you have it in an angle. So I guess you can use that to exert some force, because if it's flat, you're just going to push it over. Okay. Rubber feet. Rubber feet. One rubber foot. It is one long rubber foot underneath there. You get the spatula. You get what are you? What are you? I have never seen you before. It's got like a metal blade with a bend in it, so it's more rigid. What are you? 11. Removal tool. Pry under the raft to remove parts from the build platform. Do not use in Form 3 resin tank. Okay, so it's got like a reinforced edge on the on its blade. And then this side is sharpened, or has like a bit of a chisel tip. Okay, so I guess you use it like that, and then pry it up. And my screen with chat has just gone blank, which I don't like, because I need to see what you guys are writing. Screen, please. Ah, why is my tech turning off? Why does it have a 4-hour timer on it? Please? Yeah, okay. So that's the pry removal tool. That's cool. Okay, hold on. I need to rearrange my windows here real quick. That should be good enough. Pry tool. And then we get the typical flush cutters. These don't even have a brand on them. And that's that. Oh yeah, tweezers, metal tweezers. Very, very pointy, sharp tweezers. So that is the finish kit. I guess you fill one side with some alcohol, and then the other side as well. Okay, so you fill these both with alcohol. You have one that's like the pre-wash, that's got all the dissolved resin in there, and then this one's the finish wash. And these lids have a seal in them. So it doesn't seal up super tightly, and it looks like it doesn't actually make contact in the back, but no, it does make contact in the back. Okay. So yeah, that's at least going to keep this stuff from evaporating all over the place and filling your... Oh, we've got the same thing I've seen on other printers. And stinking up your place. So what I'm saying we've got the same thing as I've seen on other printers is the drips from your prints have some sort of a static charge on them and get sucked towards the front of the printer. So that's resin on the inside of the machine, and as well down here there's like resin drips. Actually, if I move this around, you can see where there's resin on here. The Mars series of printers had that really bad. The Prusa S1 had that not at all, and I don't know if it's how the platform is grounded or electrically connected, but yeah, resin drips. That's going to be annoying, because when this stuff cures, it's going to be really messy and sticky at the front of the printer. How did your print come out? Good. So, are you just you're just a lid? Okay. What do I do with the lid? Oh, I guess. Okay. Okay. I guess so. I just all the tools go in here. And this one can sit here as well. And then when you need it, you take this off, or you use this as a work surface or something, and then you can, yeah, and this is made to fit on here. All right, I'm gonna let this drip just a bit more. I'm gonna grab some more ethanol to fill up these buckets. How much do they use? I probably don't have enough, but I'm gonna grab everything I have. And I will be back in 1 second. Just hopping over next to where I bought like, oh, I'm already low, okay. I bought 15 liters worth of ethanol the other day, and these are the last 3 liters that I have. So let's go ahead and empty out these first. Fishy, yes, it is 4K for that. It's 4,000 US dollars for this printer. That is correct. It does have a lot of really cool features and a lot of design cues and hints that I like. Though, again, this is just a first look for me as well. Where's that pocket tool? It's just the first look for me, so I'm not going to be giving you a judgment of whether this... It's not very sharp. Of whether this printer is something that you should invest in, because you don't buy this. You buy this as a business expense, ideally. So yeah, I'm just taking it in for now. So much ethanol wasted. You could have drunk that. hold on. Screwdriver. Yeah, there we go. Or you could have run your car for like 30 miles with that amount of fuel. Wow. It's not wasting if you do something with it. Plus, sorry if that was loud. Plus, it's going to be used. And it's not like I'm throwing this stuff out. It goes into like the Elegoo washing cure, which uses 5 liters worth of ethanol as solvent. Paul Knockley, you can smell that. Yeah, actually, I should turn up the ventilation in. Oh, I should turn up the ventilation in here to full blast, as we are now working with solvents that are flammable. The thing is, so Christoph is saying it is entirely designed for business use. The thing is, typically when you have something that has like pro in its name, or is like, ah, yeah, this is like, yeah, professional equipment for business use. Typically that means it's like less convenient, it's more expensive, it's, you know, it doesn't mean that it's really a better product, it's just that it's more complicated or something, or I don't know. I'm not getting the feeling that that's the case. Yeah, that's the case here, or that just, I mean, iPhone Pro, like that. It's not a professional device just because it's got Pro in the name. But yeah, I gotta say, I am liking a lot of the design cues and well, ways that this thing is designed, not just in how it looks, but how it functions. But whether it's actually a printer that holds up to its price tag is something I'm going to have to figure out over the next weeks while I work on a review. So, oh yeah, I think paper towel should be good enough. So that goes like this, and then that goes like that. It even pushes out the platform a bit as you do that. And then this drips like that. Well, there's not that much on there. And then you go on like this. And then we can switch to the third perspective. Okay, that sits on there pretty tightly. And basically, I guess we could use the pry tool, but that's gonna snap the print off, and I gotta be faster because the resin is already running off. So I don't want to shoot the print across the room, but I probably will. Okay, I gotta figure out how to best do this. Okay, and it's off. And I'm gonna put the platform back into the printer. Oh God, you're on there tight. Hi! There we go. And you go back in before we rip everything full of uncured resin. Okay, lid goes back on. Done. There's a little benchy. There's a little benchy. A little benchy goes into the clean chute, and you go, you don't fit. I was gonna wash you off. Oh yeah, you do fit, because there is some resin spill on the underside there. So, a second, wipe that clean. Keep that equipment clean. Don't want resin all over your gear, because it's just gonna spread everywhere. You don't want that. Basically, here's a little pinchy. And with the with that structure down there, you get like little jets of solvent gushing through that. So it does float up every time I do that. Can you like see in there? Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's not exactly automated. So I don't know if the finish kit is actually part of. Oh, I gotta get another wipe. I don't know if the finish kit is actually part of the printer. If you always get that, or if it's a separate purchase. I've not looked that up. If it's included, I think it's a great basic way of getting parts clean. If it's not, I don't know how much it would be or how much it is, but if it's not too expensive, it does the job. It's just that it's only a cleaning system. There's no curing in there, and I do assume that you still have to cure these parts the same way you have to cure all the other parts from any other SLA resin printer. Formlabs wash and cure is about 1K. Okay, so they do have that, and it is quite expensive. All right. Okay. Should I just chuck this into the CW1 for a second? Nah, it's gonna take too long. Must be cured at least another 15 minutes. Yeah, I'm gonna leave the gloves on for sure. Let me see how we can figure out a macro shot here. So this can go back on here. Perfect. Fuck you. No. What? OBS? No, I want... Come... Windows. Are we still live? I don't know. Everything just shut down? Where is it? Is it? Sorry if that went... Okay. I'm gonna have to edit that out of the recording. The Windows just decided to restart. Sorry. Sorry. Okay. So how are we gonna do that? We're gonna do that. Thankfully, YouTube does let you edit stuff. So there. Windows restarting in the middle of a live stream. Are you sure you want to exit? The only thing that saved me here was, oh, my Stream Deck doesn't work anymore. Fantastic. The only thing that saved me is OBS saying, hey, I can't close right now. So there is the print. It's still wet. But as far as print quality goes, oh, can we go in even further? That might be challenging or tricky on this camera. Nope, nope. There we go. I think that's as good as a macro shot as we're going to get for now. It does look good. The underside does have a little bit of like. Can I remove this? I don't want to break it. I don't want to break it, so I'm going to leave the supports on for now. So this is what we get. A tiny 3D benchy. That does look pretty good. So there's no, if I try to bounce the light off of it, you don't see any sort of pixel structure, and you actually get a smooth surface, especially at the bow at the front here. you don't get the typical, like the light bounces off it weirdly because it's not actually a smooth surface, because yeah, this is a smooth surface. On the other printers, typically you have like a little micro facet structure. Of course, on the top, if you look there, it is still wet, yeah. We did print with 100 micron layers, but it is smooth. You don't actually see the individual extrusion lines as you would on an FDM print. So yeah, there's that font that it's printing for some reason. The one side over here does look somewhat smushed. The other side looks good. Might just be some of these solvents still stuck in there. But yeah, chimney's good. It's a good print. It's a good print. Can I switch cameras? How can I switch cameras? Oh yeah, I've lost my assets. I've lost the borders because stuff is disconnecting. I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call it a day for today. I'm gonna have to edit that out from a second ago. Yeah, use Linux. I guess Linux for a stream machine would be pretty good. I don't need Windows on this thing. That's actually a pretty good idea for the streaming computer. I might go down that road. Oh yeah, NE555. I think that's exactly what it's doing, because it's failing every time it's rebooting. It's unable to do the updates. Okay, so I guess it's covered. That covered pretty much everything about this print. I'm gonna have to wipe down the inside of this of the window with my bare eyes. I'm gonna, yeah, hold on. Take off my glasses so that I can focus in closer. That's a good thing if you're farsighted, nearsighted, nearsighted. You can actually get some pretty cool macro shots with your eyes if you just take your glasses off. And to me, that looks good. To me, that looks really good. I'm gonna have to do some macro shots and have a better look at this. Thank you all for being here. Oh, I forgot another super chat from Tim Köhler. Thank you for that. Thank you for everyone who joined in, who donated, who just was here and and helped me through this process. Yeah, that resin loading was unpleasant. Remember, every 1,000 views on the channel overall for the month of December are €1 that I'm going to donate to a good cause chosen by E3D in the name of Senator Mortimer. So that's for the entire channel, including this live stream. So if the recordings get watched, that's more money in the pot. And Printed Solid are actually doubling that, so thank you for them. Yeah, that's, I think, all that we've got for today. Again, thanks all for being here. I'm going to take a second to figure out how I can end this stream. I don't think I can do the end screen, but yeah, we'll figure it out. Have a great weekend, everyone. Again, thanks for being here, and I will see you all maybe next week for another stream. All right, bye-bye. Give me a second. Can I do this properly if I start that? Ah. We're not gonna have any end music, but okay. Bye. Oh, it actually doesn't work. It literally doesn't work. Okay. Stop stream.